Welcome to Young Minds versus Physics. In this video, we are going to see the concept applications of vector components and Lami's theorem. In the previous video, we have seen few of the applications and now we are continuing with the remaining. And now look at the problem here. If the sum of two unit vectors is a unit vector, then find the magnitude of the difference. So have to understand this. Here you have to see that sum of two unit vectors means magnitude of the unit vectors is given. Right? So suppose if we say that so if we suppose like given one of the given vectors is a bar, right? What is given to us? That the given vector is unit vector means modulus of a bar is 1. And if we suppose the other vector to be b bar, then modulus of b bar is also 1. That means a is equal to 1 and b is equal to 1. Right. So this is the thing that we have to come to a conclusion when we read it. And if the sum is also a unit vector, sum in the sense resultant, sum in the sense sum of the two vectors is having a magnitude of again 1. That means if we suppose the resultant to be r bar, right? So mod of r bar. What is mod of r bar in this case? Sum a bar plus b bar under mod is also equal to 1. So it is something like a is equal to b is equal to r. Right. Can you recollect where we got this one? Yes, it is in the applications of parallelogram law of addition. Right. So there we have seen that if two vectors are having same magnitude, right, and also the resultant is also of the same magnitude, then angle between the two vectors is 120 degrees. That means this condition is possible only when theta is equal to 120 degrees. What is theta here? Theta is the angle between the given vectors a bar and b bar. It is 120 degrees. So my dear young minds, from the first part of the problem, we can conclude that angle is also given to us. Right? We have to extract that from the concept. So from that we can conclude that theta is equal to 120 degrees. This is what we know. Now what should we find? Find magnitude of the difference. That means we want mod of a bar minus b bar. What is the formula for this? Or what is the tool that you have in your hand? Subtraction of vectors. Minus 2ab cos theta. So now substituting 1 square plus 1 square minus 2, 1 into 1 cos 120. Cos 120. Why? Because a is equal to b is equal to r is possible only when theta is equal to 120 degrees. So thus, now substituting this we got it. And now you know very well it is 2 minus 2 cos 120 is minus 1 by 2. So therefore you got minus of minus plus, it is root 3. Simple. Right? So pause for a moment, note it down. Now the next one. If a bar is equal to 3i cap plus 4j cap and b bar is so and so, find the vector having the same magnitude as a bar and b bar and parallel to a bar. Okay. Now the point is how to understand the concept here. Right. Now what is given? A bar is given, B bar is given. Nothing to be worried about these two. Nothing to find also. Now here find the vector having same magnitude as A bar. So now we have some new vector here. Okay. Let us suppose that the new vector is some R bar. So what is given? Modulus of R bar must be equal to modulus of B bar. Isn't it? Magnitude of B bar. That new vector should have a magnitude of B bar. So let us find it out. So what is the magnitude of B bar? 7 square plus 24 square. So that is 625 under root, which is equal to 25. So it is a Pythagorean pair. 7 and 24, it gives 25. Right, done. Now, we know the magnitude of B bar now. Okay. Then what should be known? And this new vector is in the direction of A bar. Why? Because parallel to A bar. Parallel to A bar. Suppose if this is A bar. Suppose if this is A bar. I want a vector which is parallel to this, means in the same direction. In the same direction. But what is the magnitude? Already given U bar is having a magnitude of 25. We determined it. So now I want to impart direction to this magnitude. Then I will get a vector which is parallel to A bar. So that means how do I get the direction? So that means I am going to find out the unit vector along A bar. That gives the direction. Unit vector means vector with unit magnitude. That means magnitude is only 1. That means it's only having direction here. Magnitude is just 1. So you are going to multiply unit vector to the given magnitude. Then you will be completing the vector. Right? So this already we have seen in the previous concept also. Like how can you impart direction to a given vector? Magnitude. That means you can multiply the unit vector in the direction of the vector to the magnitude, it gives you the vector. So therefore now my R bar is equal to, what is my R bar is equal to? A cap multiplied to modulus of B bar. Why? Because this gives the direction part. And this gives the magnitude. And this is what he is asking us to find. The problem is asking us to find this one. This is determined. Now let us find out what it is. Right, so therefore I'll write directly R bar is equal to. Now what is A cap? A cap is A bar by modulus of A bar, is it not? A cap is A bar by modulus of A bar. So 3i plus 4j is my A bar. 3i cap plus 4j cap by modulus of A bar. It is again a Pythagorean pair 3 and 4, that is 3 square plus 4 square under root is 25, which is equal to 5. That is 3i cap plus 4j cap by 5. This is A cap. So this is A cap. Now I can find out R bar as 3i cap plus 4j cap by 5, that is A cap, multiplied by magnitude of B bar, which is 25. 5 times. So therefore R bar is equal to 15i cap plus 20j cap. 15i cap plus 20j cap. Now can you see that? So what we did? We found a new vector. How is the new vector? The new vector is having a magnitude of B bar and the direction parallel to A bar. So we are finding the magnitude of B bar first and then a vector, unit vector along A bar or parallel to A bar. You are finding A cap. So therefore multiplying both, we got the new vector. So pause for a moment and note it down. Next one. The directional cosine m of the vector p bar plus q bar such that p bar is so and so and q bar is so and so. Now come on. So what is that we need to? First we we should think in our mind, where did we see the directional cosines? We call them as DCs, directional cosines. See, in Cartesian coordinate system, when you are defining, that is in 3 dimensions, when you are defining x comma y comma z a bar, so then ax is equal to a cos theta, right? Ay is equal to cos alpha, right? Ay is equal to a cos beta, az is equal to a cos gamma. So cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma are the direction cosines, where cos alpha is ax by a, which we call as L. So L is equal to ax by a, m is equal to ay by a, n is equal to az by a. This one we have already discussed. Now here he is asking us to find out m. He is asking us to find out m. M, if I want, I need the magnitude of the complete vector, right, as well as the coefficient of j cap. What is ay? Coefficient of j cap. Now of which vector? Is it of p bar? No. Is it of q bar? No. Then it is of p plus q bar. So now p bar plus q bar. Now let us find out. This is the vector what we need. Right, adding those two, you will get 3i cap minus j cap plus j cap. It is 0 of j cap. That means the coefficient of j cap is 0 here. So that will get cancelled, right? So now plus k cap. So now if you observe, ay is 0 here, right? So therefore now if I want m, which is equal to ay by a, right? So if I suppose this to be my a bar, right? So what is that? That is 0 by something. So if it is a non-zero value, not an issue. So it is 3 square plus 1 under root 10, is it not? So square root of 10. So 0 by something, which is 0. So what is the direction cosine m? M is 0. M is 0. What is meant by direction cosine m? It is cos beta. Beta is the angle made by p bar plus q bar with y axis. So this is a concept, right? Which is equal to 0. Which is equal to 0. Clear? Right. So pause and then note down. So now the next one. Now a man of 80 kg is supported by 2 cables as shown in the figure. So now let us observe the figure, right? So a man or maybe a mass or whatever it is, 80 kg is supported by 2 cables T1, like here as shown in the figure, where T1 and T2 being the tensions in the cables. So now our job is to find T1 and T2 separately. Now this can be redrawn like this, right? So this is the weight acting here with 80 kg, right? This is T1 and this is T2. So can you identify what it is? It belongs to Lami's theorem concept. So what we want right now is, what is the angle between T1, T1, T2? What is the angle between T2 and the weight? What is the angle between T1 and the weight? That's all. If we know that one, you can solve the problem. Because a by sine alpha is equal to b by sine beta is equal to c by sine gamma, is it not? So therefore, you have now a, b, c as T1, T2 and w. So our job is to find out the angles now. Right? How do we find that one? Now see, take this. This is a triangle. No need of any other concept, and nobody can change its status here. 60, 30, therefore it is 90 degrees. So I got the angle which is exactly opposite to this. This is 90 degrees. I got it. I got one of the angle. So therefore, I will write the first part of the Lami's theorem. A by sine alpha. So I am writing it as A by sine 90, which is equal to T1 by, I want sine of the angle. Which angle? Opposite to this. That means between T2 and weight. Between T2 and weight. How am I going to do? See, look here. So here, let me draw a line parallel to this one. That is horizontal line parallel to this. Right? Now here this is 30, means this is 30 degrees. Now this is 90 degrees. So I got 30 plus 90, which is 120 degrees. Beautiful. I got the angle here to be 120 degrees. Is that clear? So how am I able to? So you need to visualize where and what is given here. When you know this as 30, if you draw a line parallel to this, then this is an alternate angle. You have 30 degrees here. And this is with the vertical, the horizontal always makes 90 degrees. So 90 plus 30 is the total angle between the weight and tension T2. So between T2 and weight, it is 120 degrees opposite to T1. So that is sine 120. Sine 120. Now the last part of Lami's theorem. T2 divided by this angle. T2 divided by the other one. Sine of. So 120 plus 90 is 210. So total should be 360. So you have 150 here. That is one way of thinking. No need to solve here. You got it as 120 plus 90 as 210. So you are left with 150 out of 360 degrees, right? Because the total is 360. That is one way. I'll show you the other way. So here this is 60, means this is also 60 degrees. And here you have the angle between the horizontal and vertical is always 90. 90 plus 60 is 150. So this is 150 degrees. So I got it to be 150 degrees. So you got sine 90 degrees, sine 120 degrees, sine 150 degrees. You are done. You are done. Right. So now to find out T1 and T2, use these two first. So that is 80 is equal to T1 by sine 120. So what is sine 120? So 90 plus 30 is cos 30. Cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So therefore T1 is equal to, now this 2, this is 40. So T1 is equal to 40 root 3. Very good. Got it. Now to find out T2 again, you are going to use these two. Okay. So now 80 is equal to, because sine 90 is 1, 80 is equal to T2 by sine 150, sine 90 plus 60, cos 60, sine in second quadrant is positive. Cos 60 is 1 by 2, so 1 by 2. So here it is, T2 is equal to 40. Very good. So we got T1 is equal to 40 root 3 kg and T2 is equal to 40 kg, because this is given in kgs. Clear? Yes. So note it down. Now the next one. 5 vectors A bar, B bar, C bar, D bar and E bar having magnitudes 10, 12 root 2, 20, 20 and 10 units respectively are acting as shown. Right, don't read so much. So here only you have A bar, A is modulus of A, that is 10. Then next B is 12 root 2, C is 20, D is also 20, E is 40. I'm sorry, E is 10. E is 10. So these are the 5 vectors given. Their magnitudes are given to us, right? And now they are acting at a point like this. Here are the 5 vectors. Right, A bar absolutely along x direction. B bar making an angle 45 with x. C bar making an angle 30 with the negative x axis. Please remember that this is minus x. Right, and D bar making an angle 30 with minus y axis. Done. Now what is the question? Find the x and y components of sum of all the 5 vectors. Sum of all the 5 vectors. How are we going to do that? Yes, simple. Every vector you write in x and y components. Every vector. That means you are going to write as position vectors. You are going to write it as position vectors. Let me write A bar. Now what is A bar? A bar is just along x axis. The y component of it is 0. So I will write it as ai cap, which is equal to 10 I cap. So I got the first equation. Now I'll write B bar, the second vector. It is 12 root 2 here. Now making an angle 45 with this. So you have x component as well as perpendicular to that y component, where this is b cos 45. Right? So b cos 45 I cap plus b sin 45 j cap. Very good. So what is b? 12 root 2. Cos 45 is 1 by root 2. So therefore I am writing directly 12 I cap. The same is with this one also. 12 j cap, because sin 45 is also 1 by root 2. Root 2 will get cancelled. You got 12 I cap plus 12 j cap is b bar. I got A bar. Now I got B bar. Now I am moving on to C bar. So where is that? It is in the second quadrant, where y component is positive and x will be negative, because here it is a minus I cap will come here and plus j cap will come here. It is in second quadrant. So what is that? C cos 30 minus I cap plus C sin 30 j cap. So now cos 30 root 3 by 2. Right. So minus root 3 by 2. C is 20. Minus 20 into root 3 by 2 I cap. Why did I get minus here? Because this is minus I cap. Right. Plus sin 30 is 1 by 2. C is 20. 20 into 1 by 2 is 10. 10 j cap. Let me rewrite. So it is minus 10 root 3 I cap plus 10 j cap. Okay? Right. Because 2 10 times. Like moving on to D bar. So this is in third quadrant, where you have I is also minus, j is also minus. Right? So this is, I am writing directly minus here. Minus d cos 30 I cap minus d is, hold on. Now this 30 is with y axis. Here this comes the cos. Here we will be going with sine. Yes. Dear young minds, did you understand the difference here? Because this will be the adjacent side of the angle. That means along y you will be getting cos. Along x you will be getting sine here, because the angle is the vector is making angle with y axis. So minus d sine 30 I cap minus d cos 30 j cap. Okay, so let's write what is d. It is also 20. So minus 20 sine 30 is half. So minus 10 I cap. Right, now minus 10 cos 30 is root 3 by 2. So 2, 10, 20, 10 times here. Now this is 10 root 3 j cap. This is minus 10 I cap minus 10 root 3 j cap. Now coming on to E bar. How is E bar? E bar is along negative y axis. So this is minus 10 j cap minus 10 j cap. So A is along positive x, so you got plus 10 I cap. E is along negative y axis, you got it as minus 10 j cap. So now we got all our vectors. Now what is that we have to find is sum of all the 5 vectors. Sum of all the 5 vectors. Okay, let's do here. So now A bar plus B bar plus C bar plus D bar plus E bar. So that is equal to 10I. Now come on, look at only I's, right? So 10I cap plus 12I cap. I got 22I cap. Right, minus 10 root 3, let's keep it aside, and then next I have minus 10 I cap, here it is 0. So plus 10 I cap minus 10 I cap will get cancelled. You are left with 12 I cap minus 10 root 3 I cap. So 12 minus 10 root 3 of I cap. Right, now let me see the j values now. Plus 12j plus 10j, right, minus 10j and minus 10 root 3j. So minus 10j plus 10j, these two will get cancelled. You are left with plus 12j minus 10 root 3j. So plus of 12 minus 10 root 3 taking j common. Very good. Beautiful. We got the vector. What did he ask us? Or what is the problem demanding us? The problem is expecting us to find out x and y components. What is the problem? Nothing is there. This is the x component. Right, excluding I, this is ax, this is ay, this is y component. So your x component is 12 minus 10 root 3. Y component is also 12 minus 10 root 3. Right, beautiful. Looks like a lengthy problem. But since I am explaining you, I wrote so many steps. No need to write directly, also you can cancel. When you are practicing the problems, then you can do this by minimum number of steps. Okay, note it down. So the next problem, again, Lami's theorem, very easy. Right, tension T1, T2 in the chords of the given system in equilibrium are dash and dash, and everything is in the diagram. So this is exactly 90 degrees. So we got the angle opposite to that as 90. So I can write T1 by sine 90 is equal to, right? So I want this angle and this angle. So let me extend this. Let me extend this parallel to this. Then this is 60 degrees and you know this is 90 degrees. So therefore it is 150 degrees opposite to T2. So therefore I'll write T2 by sine 150. So now 90 and then 150. So here, or you can also take this whole thing as 180, 60. So therefore it is 120. So that is opposite to 10 kg weight. So 10 by sine 120. So my job is done. Whatever you want, you can find out now, because the same kind of the problem is already done. Yeah, please note it down. Now the last one for this particular concept. Here given that a bar plus b bar plus c bar is 0. Yeah, looks like Lami's theorem application. Out of 3 vectors, 2 are equal. So therefore, let us suppose that a bar is equal to b bar. That means equal in the sense in magnitude only. Equal in magnitude. And the magnitude of third vector is root 2 times of either. Very good. Let us suppose this is x, this is x. Then this is root 2x. Or x root 2 rather. And having find the angles between the vectors. So we want the angle, this angle, and then this angle. Sounds very good. So see, you can apply like this also, taking angle, one angle to be alpha. Obviously the other one also makes the angle alpha here, because both are of the same magnitude. Right, so therefore you will be getting the other one to be 180 minus 2 alpha. Applying Lami's theorem, you can just do like that. X by sine alpha is equal to, right, the other one also comes as x by sine alpha, and the other one is root 2x by sine of 180 minus 2 alpha. On simplifying this, you will be getting, right, sine alpha to be equal to 1 by root 2. So simplify, you can know sine 180 minus 2 alpha is sine 2 alpha. 2 sine alpha cos alpha, sine alpha will get cancelled. Right? So therefore your is cos alpha. So you are left with cos alpha is equal to 1 by root 2. That means alpha is equal to 45 degrees. But see, these are all like obtuse angles, right? Very clear. And even if you draw Lami's theorem as a triangle also, you know that angles between vectors are always obtuse here when it is in equilibrium. So other than 45, what is the next angle for which it is 1 by root 2? 135 degrees. So what is here? Alpha is 135. Alpha is equal to 135 degrees. The other one, beta, will also be equal to 135 degrees. Very clear, because both are of equal magnitude. Therefore, they are like opposite, if side opposite to the angle. If the two are equal, automatically the two angles are also equal. 135, 135. Right? So the other one is obviously 90 degrees. This is one way of doing. Right? So this part, like direct Lami's theorem. I will come to this one here. Use your common sense, young minds. You have two vectors here like this. And this can be the resultant of these two, suppose if we say. And this is how the resultant acts. Okay? Is it not? Yes. And now this is balanced by this. Therefore, it is in equilibrium. Fantastic, right? So I'll repeat this. You have two vectors here acting. Forget about this now. The resultant is in this direction. Right? Two are of equal magnitude and the resultant is x root 2 here. That is possible only when it is of 90 degrees. Right? That means these two are getting cancelled, hence it is in equilibrium. So I can consider x root 2 here is the resultant of x, and x implies these two are acting at 90 degrees. So angle between these two is 90 degrees. These two remaining angles must be equal. So what is that remaining angle? 360 minus 90, which is equal to 270 degrees. Now each angle is, suppose alpha is equal to 270 by 2, which is equal to 135 degrees. That means this is going to save your time. If you can really evaluate or assess what is happening here. If you understand the concept of equilibrium, if you forget about this one, these two vectors definitely will lead to a resultant in this direction. And if the resultant is x, root 2, absolutely angle between them should be 90 degrees because the two are of a magnitude each x. Now we are saying that it is in equilibrium. That means definitely there should be a third force which is acting opposite to this. That is what it is. If you can assess it like that, you can easily do like this also. So your alpha is equal to 135, beta is 135 and gamma is equal to 90 degrees. So this is one way of doing. This is the second way of doing. So this is based on your common sense. This is a direct application of Lami's theorem, right? So you can do either of them. So pause and make a note. This is all for this concept. In the next video, let's move on to the next concept. See you again.